A total injury bummer for Sunday.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, everybody? Matt Derry with you. It's a Friday edition of Locked On Lions, everybody, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day on Friday, September 13th and a Saturday, September 14th. Thanks for making us your first listen and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe on Apple. Thank you very much. Overcast, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify. We're here for you daily. You can watch us for free and subscribe on our Locked On Lions YouTube as well. Shout out to our everydayers that are out there, including gym teacher to the stars and legend, Matt Schwark. Matt loves the Locked On Lions podcast. He's with us every day. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate your love as well here on the old Locked On Lions. It's a Friday show, and we are brought to you by our friends at LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. Terms and conditions apply. Follow us on Twitter at Derry Speaks, at Locked On Lions, the Matt Derry Facebook fan page. And again, thank you for those of you that check us out on the Locked On Lions YouTube channel. All right, a lot to cover today. I mentioned in the open, the cold open, an injury that just ticks me off. And it's disappointing because this player had a really good game on Sunday, and now we're not going to see him this Sunday. We will explain coming up momentarily here on Locked On Lions. We'll give you the full injury report. A lot of guys out for the Bucs. A lot. Prediction time. I'm not going to change my prediction from what I said yesterday on our Thursday crossover with James Yarko, the host of Locked On Bucs. I was talking to another everydayer, Chris Druin, yesterday, along with Joe Allen. Those are my guys. And they were just stunned at the amount of stats. Let me give you some stats that James Yarko was just busting out on yesterday's show. He was fantastic. But I'm not changing my prediction. We'll get you that coming up momentarily. I'll tell you a few things I think the Lions are going to do well. And another team in town did something so tacky, that I had to bring it up at the end of the show. It's a quick mention, end of the show, but tacky move that I got to get into, and we'll do that here on this Friday edition of Locked On Lions. Lions will host the Tampa Bay Bucs Sunday at Ford Field at 1 o'clock. For those of you that are watching the NFL Network, I just saw Stacey Dales, their fine reporter who does a great job. She'll be covering the game for the NFL Network. Kevin Kugler, Daryl Moose Johnston on the call with Laura Oakman on the sidelines for Sunday. And, of course, you can listen to the game on the radio side. And the 97 The Ticket. With Dan Miller, Dan Lomas Brown, and of course, TJ Lang on the call for Sunday. All right. Saw this today. Marcus Davenport, who hasn't practiced all week due to a groin injury, has been listed as doubtful for Sunday's game against Tampa. Here's the thing. We finally looked like Sunday we were watching a Lions team that had an edge rusher on one side and, a pretty good one on the other side. Tell me the last time the Lions had edge rushers on either end that were getting to the quarterback consistently. It's been a long time. Long time. Marcus Davenport had 6 quarterback pressures on Matthew Stafford Sunday night in the Lions' overtime thriller over the Hollywood Lambs. So you're like, all right, I like this Davenport, 92, getting to the quarterback, some pressures, some hits. Great. And now you're getting DJ Reader back Sunday. All right, we're bringing Sexy back. We're getting DJ Reader. So now you're going to have the full arsenal, you would think, Jim Price trademark, of people. You're going to have Aiden, you're going to have DJ, you're going to have Aleem McNeil, and you're going to have Davenport. And now Marcus Davenport's been hobbled with a sore groin all week. He hasn't practiced all week, and the Lions are listing him as doubtful. You know he's not playing. Marcus Davenport's not going to play. They could list him as doubtful all day. He's not going to play. And this is the same guy that last year played in 4 games, just 4. A few years ago, he missed 6 games. A few years ago before that, missed 5 games. When he's healthy, go back to Minnesota, go back to the Saints. He's a productive player. He gets to the quarterback. He causes a stir in the backfield, and the Lions need him. There's a drop-off when he's not out there. Just like you're going to notice there's going to be improvement this week with DJ Reader out there. This is no knock on Levi Onwuzurike, who's been fantastic so far this year, going back to training camp when I refer to him as training camp Warren Sapp. But there's a drop-off with no Marcus Davenport. Yes, you'll see Josh Paschal more, who only played 22 snaps the other day. They'll move some guys around if need be. James Houston, I would figure, would now be elevated and healthy and not a scratch. He'd be off the inactive list and would be another guy that the Lions would utilize. Derek Barnes, of course, can play that edge position as well. But man, I'm just bummed out about Davenport. But again, this is what you get. Last year the Vikings gave him $13 million on a one-year deal. He played in 4 games out of 17. Now the Lions got him for 1 year, like $6.5 million. Played really well in the opener. This has been his MO of injuries. And now all of a sudden with a groin injury, he's going to have to be out. So it just bums me out because I think when we talk about the Lions getting to that next level and taking that next step, it's all about winning up front. And sure, Sunday night, my initial reaction on the post-game pod was, man, they didn't get enough pressure on Stafford. They only sacked him a couple of times because the Rams offensive line was a complete mess. They lost Steve Avila during the game. They lost the left tackle during the game, Jackson. All these guys were banged up. Noteboom went out. Lost a bunch of guys in that game. And they were playing AJ Arcuri, who wasn't even good at Michigan State. And Hutchinson was going around him like a turnstile. But after watching the tape some more and after talking to some people, and the Lions D-line had a really good game, and that's without DJ Reader. So I was just looking forward to seeing a consistent Marcus Davenport out there with Hutchinson, really making this a fearsome, I hate that term, fearsome foursome, but you know what I mean? A defensive line that attacks, that can get to the passer and just make things easier for the defensive backs. And we know this come Sunday. Carlton Davis is out for blood. He's not going to say it. He's not going to do any trash talking. He's a pretty quiet dude for the most part. But Carlton Davis, wants to D up, man up on Mike Evans, shut him down as best they can. And because as a former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, that's just the mindset. All of you would do the same thing if you were going up against your former company or working at a competitor or something like that. So the pass rush and getting to the quarterback would just help that defensive secondary so much. And the secondary is better. We know that. We've talked about it. But there are a lot of injuries for Tampa Bay, which we're going to talk about. So, from that standpoint, I think that's why I think the Lions are going to win. But I'm just a little bit bummed out that Marcus Davenport's not going to be there. And now, if James Houston is active, the question's going to be, and we heard from Dan Campbell earlier in the week, not exactly giving him a rousing vote of confidence. How many snaps would a guy like James Houston get if he's active? We're going to find out. He's got to make the most of them, but he's really kind of a one-trick pony right now. He just rushes the passer. He's not great against the run. They tried him at off-ball linebacking in the offseason. That didn't work. Now it's basically pin your ears back and go. But Paschal will be a guy, Josh Paschal, that will be very important, certainly this week, if Davenport's out, but I think he's going to be. All right, the full injury report is coming up next. We will get to that. We will get into a little prediction game here and what I see happening on Sunday. I see the Lions scoring a lot of points. I do. My biggest fear is Baker Mayfield in that Tampa Bay passing game, and their offense is humming right now. Really is. Got 2 good backs, a nice tight end, and Baker's in a rhythm right now, and 3 very good wide receivers. So I think it's going to be a shootout on Sunday. We'll get to that coming up next, right here on Locked On Lions on a Friday edition. We made it to Friday, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. But first on this Friday, we told you about our friends at LinkedIn Jobs. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. It is so easy to post on LinkedIn Jobs. Put that purple hiring frame around your avatar picture. You are good to go. And it's pretty simple, and a lot of people see it. Everybody's on LinkedIn right now. I'm posting there daily for my 9 to 5 job, and I love LinkedIn. It isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job, but might be open to having that conversation for that perfect role. In a given month, think about this. Over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And we're also brought to you today by our friends at FanDuel. Oh, my goodness gracious. You've heard us talk about FanDuel forever. That's because it's America's #1 sports book. I love going on FanDuel because you get the lines right there. You can see everything clearly. Screen is great, easy to navigate. You love FanDuel. Well, we got something a little bit different for you as well. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. That's not enough. Be sure to check out FanDuel's Profit Boost in the app and use it for FanDuel's double your winnings for all of Sunday. Pre-game money line bets. Profit Boost started last night. View your account page now to learn more about your boost. Go to FanDuel.com to download America's number one sports book. Back on Locked On Lions for this a Friday. Lions and Bucs coming up on Sunday at Ford Field. Back-to-back home games to start the season before the Lions head west next weekend for a 4/25 date with the Arizona Cardinals. So hope everybody's having a great week. As far as the full injury report goes, the Lions have already put out the status for a couple of guys that are going to be out once again for Sunday. They have declared Ife Melifonwu with that sprained ankle out again. He missed last week. He'll miss this week. Lions basically just went with 2 safeties this past week in Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. Isaiah Williams, who did not play last Sunday. Tom Kennedy played a few snaps. Williams was dressed, did not really get out there. He's been bothered by an abdomen injury. Practiced a little bit yesterday, didn't practice today. Lions have ruled him out, the Lions wide receiver, for Sunday. So if they need a wide receiver 4 or 5 or whatever, they could elevate Tim. They could elevate. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Allen Robinson, right? The local guy who went to Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And look, Allen Robinson was really, really good, in Chicago years ago. Was really, really good. And, the last year with the Steelers and the year before that, I think it was down in Carroll or Jacksonville. It just, his game has not been the same. He's older now, in his 30s. But that would be interesting to see if Allen Robinson or Tim Patrick get elevated from the practice squad, or even Donovan Peoples-Jones. We will see, but the Lions do have that need to bring another wide receiver up because Isaiah Williams is out. Listed as questionable, Penei Sewell, who is back at practice today with an injured ankle. He's going to power through it and play. You're not going to have, Penei Sewell's not going to miss a game. Come on now. Best right tackle in the league. Kirby Joseph also has been slowed by a sore hamstring, limited in practice for most of the week. He is listed as questionable for this game, as is Jamison Williams, who has had a bit of an ankle roll. He's questionable, but you got to figure that J-Mo, Kirby, and Sewell will all play Sunday. Full practice today for Carlton Davis, DJ Reader, and Lauren Strickland, the safety, who missed last week due to an injured thumb. So all those guys should be up and active and ready to rock for this weekend. Question will be if Lauren Strickland is a healthy scratch or not. Here's what's interesting. Luke Gedicke, the fine right tackle for the Bucs, out. Concussion. Huge loss for them. Josh Hayes, cornerback, back up, but still plays a lot. He's out due to an ankle injury. Kalijah Cansey, my guy that I wanted the Lions to draft 2 years ago, calf injury, ruled out for Sunday. Antoine Winfield, foot injury, ruled out. 4 starters along that secondary. The only reason Josh Hayes would have been a starter at corner is because Bryce Hall is injured and is out for the season. As James Yarko, big game James Yarko, told us yesterday. So the Bucs are depleted in their secondary. Zion McCollum, who they took in the mid-rounds last year, has a concussion. Full practice the last 2 days. He's questionable. And Tyke Smith has been sick all week, hasn't practiced at all. He's had an illness. I mean, their cornerback situation is a mess. I mean, Tavier Thomas could be getting a lot of snaps. I've watched Tavier Thomas play with the Browns and other teams. He's brutal. The Lions must take advantage of this. No Winfield, no Hayes, no Hall. That's 3 regulars in their secondary. And it appears, like I said, that Tyke Smith, another one of their corners, he could be out as well. You know, listing him as questionable with an illness, but he's not going to be 100% at all. And neither is McCollum, who's coming off of a concussion. So Gedicke out is big. You know, they got Tristan Wirfs, who's as good a left tackle as there is in the game. But, man, I would have loved to have seen Marcus Davenport against the backups on the right side for Tampa Bay. So lots of injuries when it comes to this game. And this is where, look, you know, everybody talks about how important week 1 is. Week 2 is the most important week. Teams that are 0-1, look at week 2 and go, we got to win. Teams that start 0-2 only make the playoffs around 11% of the time. Now, again, Bucs won last week, Lions won last week. We don't have to worry about that. There were a lot of anomalies in week 1, like Cincinnati losing to New England, right? Like the Saints looking like a Super Bowl team, like the Falcons looking horrible. So week 2, I think you'll see less rust and you'll see better football. And I picked yesterday on this very program, on the crossover Thursday with James, I said Lions 37, Bucs 31. If you've watched any of Tampa Bay over the last year now in one game, Baker Mayfield is in the best rhythm he's ever been in. This is a guy that bounced around a little bit. Remember Baker Mayfield for like a cup of coffee in Carolina with the Panthers? He's found his niche in Tampa Bay, and just the pitch and catch, the quick drops, the quick throws, what kind of Stafford did last week, we're going to see Baker Mayfield do this week with Godwin, with Mike Evans, McMillan, the rookie. They've got some exciting guys coming out of the backfield too that can catch the football. So this is not going to be easy for this Lions defense again. And last year, I didn't think Baker Mayfield had a terrible game in the playoffs. Obviously, the interception that Derek Barnes picked off to seal the game was not his best work. But this looks like the Baker Mayfield that the Browns took number 1 overall years ago. He's really playing good football. And like I said, Wirfs is a load. The Bucs always have a good offensive line. But I think the Lions are going to win like 37-31. I don't see Amon-Ra St. Brown having 3 catches. I don't see Sam Laporta having a quiet night. I don't see Ben Johnson, if David Montgomery is eating, taking him out of the game. Now you got no Isaiah Williams. I think we're going to see more of Jahmyr Gibbs out wide. And I think the Lions offense and Jared Goff, I think, will be in a much better rhythm than they were this past week. So I like something like 37-31. I do think Tampa is going to put up some points. I do. But man, Jameson Williams looked really good last week. And now teams have got film to go, wait a minute, we can't let number 9 run wild. Well, that should open things up for Amon-Ra St. Brown. James said it yesterday. St. Brown had 20 catches last year against the Bucs in 2 games. Lions moved the football pretty much at will against Tampa Bay, down in Tampa for their pewter game and also in the playoff game. Jahmyr Gibbs had a huge day last year in that divisional round. So I like the Lions in this game. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Tampa's offense is in a good place right now. I love their new OC. But I think the Lions in the end will get it done and win like something like 37-31. But keep an eye on that Panay Sewell ankle. Hopefully that's nothing major. And also Kirby Joseph's hamstring. Or else we might be seeing Brandon Joseph back there a little bit more as well. All right. Another team in town did something really, really tacky, and I have to share it. I'm not sure how many people know about this, but I got an interesting email today, and we'll tell you about that coming up next here on Locked On Lions, a Friday edition. Oh boy, Locked On Lions brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is back. Daily fantasy that is so much fun. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. They got over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks is just you against the numbers. All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Want to watch Lions Bucs with a different view of the game? Think Baker Mayfield's going to throw for 300 again? More than or less than? How about Jared Goff? Will he bounce back? What's the number on Amon-Ra St. Brown catches? 7, 8? It's all there for you at PrizePicks. All you got to do is download the app. PrizePicks also invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. All right? I know how many people were upset about Tyreek Hill last night, right? If you had more than 90 receiving yards, you lost. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code LOCKEDONNFL on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. The Lions can do no wrong right now. Selling out that stadium. You got standing room only tickets. You've got sponsors everywhere. You've got a lot of things that are fun and happening right now at Ford Field. It is just a team that is fun. It is an organization that is doing a great job. I heard nothing but positives coming out of Ford Field from last week, despite the fact that fans were lining up at like 5 o'clock to get into the stadium. And it's been a great run for this franchise over the last couple of years here. It really has. People are into it. So today I received an email from a friend of mine that forwarded an email that he got from the Detroit Red Wings today because he is used to be, I think, a Red Wings season ticket holder. And the Red Wings have sent out an email to their season ticket holders or anybody that's bought tickets from them. I didn't get an email about Star Wars night. The return of Star Wars night in Detroit. They got a little jersey on here and everything else. And the Red Wings wrote on this email, I swear to God, this is real. I thought it was fake. The Star Wars family lost a legend in James Earl Jones this past week. What better way to honor his legacy and his impact on the Star Wars universe than joining the Red Wings in a battle for intergalactic supremacy against the New Jersey Devils for Star Wars night? Tickets start at just $55. Am I off base here? This is tacky as you know what. This is tacky AF. Well, we lost a legend in James Earl Jones. What better way to honor his legacy than to peddle some tickets on a Friday? The hell are you doing, Red Wings? I give these examples all the time as to why the Lions are up here right now and all the other teams in this town are down here. I don't get it. And I know the Tigers are playing well. I'm not ripping on the Tigers. The Tigers are playing well. All right. It's fun for baseball fans. This is fun that on September 13th, you got a big series this weekend with the Orioles for that third wild card and all that. But my God, James Earl Jones, legend, 93 years of age, voice of so many different things. And you're telling me that that he dies this week and that you want to honor his legacy by pimping for tickets? Yes, we'd like to honor his legacy by charging people money. Come on, man. You want to mention that he passed away, fine. But like, I don't think the Jones family is sitting somewhere going, man, the hockey team in Detroit is honoring our dad or our granddad's legacy by putting out an advertisement for people to buy tickets to some meaningless regular season game against the New Jersey Devils on Star Wars night. Way to go, Wings. That's awful. You're not honoring his legacy. That's tacky. I don't know. My buddy sent me that, and I'm like, I'm putting it on the air. I want to do that. Real fast. Tua Tagovailoa and what happened in Miami last night was just horrible. It was so sad to see. This guy has had 2 major concussions already in the NFL level. He had some other ones, some other head injuries at Alabama, and now he suffered his 3rd after during last night's loss to the Bills. And there's a lot of talking heads out there talking about he should retire. He should just give Tua Tagovailoa some space and some time. That was really hard to watch last night. It was terrible. And his coach, Mike McDaniel's so cool. I love seeing McDaniel kind of kiss him on the side of the head and be like, they feel horrible for him. Guy just got a brand new contract and he just keeps getting concussions. And it's a scary game, isn't it? Man, I felt for Tua last night. All right, Lions and Bucs coming up on Sunday. Don't forget, the postcast with Jake Riepma on Locked On Sports Detroit will be live the minute the game ends. Jake will be on. You'll get a Locked On Lions reaction show from me, probably hour and a half after the game Sunday night. So stick and stay and check us out on Sunday. Shout out to our everydayers that are out there. Thanks, everybody, for making us your first listen, checking us out wherever you get your podcast. We're back again Sunday after hopefully the Lions start the season 2-0.